thing, right? There's two types of people you're gonna call. Those that are receptive to having a conversation and those who aren't, right? You're not cold calling right now anymore out, like, there's people who supposedly filled out forms, right? Right? So some are bullshit, some are not. Now, you have to be in the position where you're like, I don't really give a shit about any one of these people. I don't mean like to help them, but like they don't matter. There's an abundance of people right now who are gonna be filling out forms and who filled out forms, right? You cannot go into the call with the mindset like where like I have to just like if I screw up my pace and don't do something special, the guy's gonna not engage me. Either they're gonna engage with you or they won't. You all sound good enough at this point that someone's gonna. It's not like you're saying things that are gonna knock you out of the box. You sound idiots. That's not what's happening right now. Okay, so when that call begins, part of taking control of you is not really caring whether this person buys or not. In other words, you can't be so concerned whether this is the one or not the one. In your mind, everyone is the one until they don't. Then it's next. You gotta start getting into a next attitude. And the reason I'm saying this is that when I listen to calls, it always seems like you're talking to people with no money. Like vast majority of the calls I hear, they're struggling. They love the idea. They love the program. I'm just broke. I don't have two nickels to rub together. And those calls should be like literally whittled down to like 1 in 5 at the most, 1 in 10, not like 3 or 4 in 10. All right. So it starts with the fact that when I want you to have listen, you're excited, but it's more of a laissez-faire attitude. Like, how you doing? Listen, I've got not interested. Next click, next click, next. It's got to be a next click, next click, next click. And then when you get someone that really is qualified, all right, you have to have the attitude. You know what you have is so great that there's no concern here. Like if they don't listen to you, shame on you. Shame on them. It's not. It's like I think that right now, like there's a bit of I wouldn't call it desperation, but I don't think you're getting that. Like that. Honestly, it's really all about at this point getting on the phone as many times a day with qualified buyers. Not anybody. It's destructive it is very destructive to be on a call with people with no money. Because all they do is give you false readings about everything that you're doing. You start thinking there's something wrong with you, the program, the technique. And it's nothing to do with it. Someone with no money has no money. You get it? So I want you to just make it a point today that in your mind that you don't give a shit about any one call. And I don't mean that you don't care about it, I mean any more than the next call, and the next call, and the next call. It's a numbers game. All this is about is when you call dialing for dollars, what you're doing is you're just rifling through to get to the right person. That's the power of the phone. And as soon as you lose that to any sort of desperation or uncertainty about trying to close any one person, the whole thing reverses on you, and you start wasting your time having conversations with people that you just shouldn't have. And the conversation you had, right? The guy had no money. Mm-hmm. How come that wasn't uncovered in the beginning?
I just thought he might have more money, like, cause he said, "Oh, I was looking at a 1995 program, so I didn't like uncover whether he could afford more."
Right. So the guy said, "I was looking at 1995." So what kind of work are you doing? So what kind of work are you doing now? How did you answer that?
I think the first question I asked was, what do you know about the SLS program? And he kind of went on like a tangent about it. And then I asked him what type of sales, but I don't remember exactly the conversation.
Right, and you need to go to the John Maxwell footage, all right? And let them find the chunk of the Maxwell footage where I go through actual what it really is like when you qualify someone in the exact same situation, all right? They're in a situation that's almost identical. They try to get people to sign up for a certification course, almost identical price, right? And they were trying to understand how do you find out if someone has money or no. Because they're running into the same problem. When someone doesn't buy, it's almost 95% they don't have 2 nickels to rub together, right? And they watched me, we went through an exercise together where within a matter of like 3 questions, I got to the bottom of it and made the customer love me at the same time. No, seriously, you were there. Yeah. And they all started, they couldn't believe what they were hearing, what I was doing, but it was very second nature. For me, it was very second nature. all right? And it's called, and one of the guys was so blown away, he's the top guy, he goes, I've never seen anything like this. It's really not even scripting what you do, it's like dynamic, whatever, like he gets some weird, you know.
Dynamic presenting.
Yeah, whatever, but all I'm doing is, I think you guys are not realizing, you're talking to human beings on the phone. You're talking to humans, people like you. It is so easy to get a person to talk to you and disclose what their life is like right now if you talk to them like people. I think you guys are too much like, hi, well the reason for the call is, it's like, these are human beings, right? And when I start saying, listen, just a couple of questions, so like, get exactly how to best serve you. Number one, first of all, and my first of all question is gonna be pretty much the same every time, but if I have someone in front of me that I know is qualified, depending on what the information they filled out, or that all I'm looking for is, do they have money? If they have money, they qualify. A couple $1,000, right? Even a little bit liquid. It's what do they do for a living? Like, what do you do for a living? How long are you doing it for? How are things going for you right now? Go, just rather than go through it, I gotta go start going. Go through this chunk, and just watch how easy it is. I don't care what the person says to you, what curveball they throw at you. Within 3 questions, okay, you can find out if they have money or they're broke. It's really easy to do. And I went through this whole role play exercise. Oh, what? Okay, and are you married, single? They say I'm married. Oh, good. What's your husband do? He's this. Or wife do? Or she's that. And like one's a school teacher, the other's a school teacher. Okay, potential problem. But one's a school teacher, one's a principal. Like it's so easy when you start. You're not looking at as real world prospecting means having a bit of flexibility in your question asking here in the beginning, because you're looking to discover 2 things here. Number 1, do they have money? Why is that so important right now? Why is it one of the most? Why is it so crucial? And many times it's not crucial. So in your B2C, because most of them are money.
Yeah.
The biggest holdup you're having right now is people with no money.
Yeah.
So this is your primary objective when you cold call. When you guys get someone on the phone with money, what percentage do you close?
Pretty high.
Most of that.
Most.
Yeah.
So all this is about is finding people with money. That's the bulk of your company. I don't see, the only reason you ask questions is, the idea is you never want to ask a question that you don't have to ask. There's no point to it, right? You ask the question to do what? Either A, to gather some real world intelligence that you can use to close them, like pain points, core needs, that's number 1. Number 2, financial qualification. Are they qualified? Right? That's and what's number 3? The only other one would be questions that will allow you to build rapport through active listening. Other than that, there's no reason to ask someone a question. You don't ask people questions for your health. And I think a lot of people, when you qualify, you don't get it. Like, you don't need to ask one question more than you have to. You understand? You have to ask questions because you need to know certain things. Do they have money? What features and benefits that I have are going to match up to them specifically so I can tailor my presentation? So that's basically your needs analysis, pain points. And then any other questions that fill that stuff in that allow you to make it fluid and build rapport. Other than that, there's no reason to you don't just ask questions for the sake of asking questions. And I think that you guys are really missing this of what it's really all about. Like you're a person trying to, like it's almost like you're an inspector, a police inspector, but you're not positioning yourself that way, trying to get to the bottom of something here. Can they afford my product? If they can't, don't waste your time. I wouldn't have you doing this if it was a 2 out of 10, but it's like an 8 out of 10 here. All right, for whatever reason, right now, I'm just going to shift with B2B. When you're in a B2C mode, all right, I want you to find out, and you'll see, show them the clip, Matt, of how I do it. It's very elegant. You're not like, so you have money. You're not saying that. You're saying it in a way that makes them laugh, that makes them like you, and always ends things on a high note, no matter what. But you're wasting your time and you're wasting their time when you pitch to people without money. And if they fill out a form to speak to us, there's no finesse, like there's no magic trick required here. It's just, hey, I'm calling from Jordan's Belfort. You know, if you recall, you requested some information on our program, you filled out a call for a free, whatever it was, I don't know what the ad said, whatever the particular ad said, there's a bunch of different ads that we're filming, right? Whatever that ad is, you match up to that ad, and reason for the call is right now, I haven't blocked it in 30 minutes, okay? So, real quick, grab the pen and pen, whatever that, it's not with the open lines, but there's nothing to think about here, guys. It's not like, oh shit, I hope they're still receptive. I don't give a fuck. If they're not receptive, you know what I do? End the call. And then go on to the next one. And we're gonna start tightly stacking calls. In other words, we'll start overstacking these slots, so when someone's not right for it, it's just click on to the next slot. Because there's like a 10 or 15 minute leeway either way, right? So, but just I want you to really, really understand here that when you're qualifying people for money, it's a very easy thing to do, but it doesn't always happen. It's based on what they say. You ask a question, they answer it, and based on their answer, you then go to the next logical point. All you're trying to say is X plus Y equals $80,000 a year, $90,000 a year. This X plus Y meaning husband plus wife. It's really X plus Y equals 100,000 plus. If X plus Y equals 100,000 plus, I don't care how much credit card that they have. I don't care how bad they're on the mortgage. They have enough money to afford the product. They can float it, and because the product makes them money, but by improving their results, they can pay for it by putting on a payment plan. So in other words, it's not cash flow negative to them past 30 days, because they'll make money from the product by becoming better at what they do. So in my mind, I'm saying, does husband plus wife equal enough money coming in each month to have an extra few $100s floated out of the family budget? That's at the low point. That's like the worst case scenario. So if you're on a phone with a single guy who's 22 years old, he just graduated out of college, okay? So what have you been doing since you graduated out of school? You know, what kind of work are you doing, right? Okay, where do you live? You live at home. You have your own place, right? Wait, what was your life like? What were your beliefs growing up about money? Hey, what was your life growing up? How has your relationship been with money? Here's a basic question, guys. What's your relationship with money been like in the past? It's a coaching call, right? Tell me, how's your relationship with money and success been? Have you had any success in your life? Have you struggled with money in the past? Has money been abundant to you? So now you're coming from the perspective of a coach. And they say, oh, I've really struggled with money. I haven't really ever had money in my life. I've always been broke. I'm behind on my... Really? Okay, I'll tell you about that. How's it going? Oh, I'm behind on my credit cards. You're done. That's why I said, well, let me ask you a question. I said, this particular program, the one that you wanted to know about, actually, on the lowest level, it requires a monthly payment of a few $100s. That's been invested in yourself. But if that's out of your price range, I don't want to waste your time or mine. Okay. However, there is a different program that's only $29 a month. But if the guy says, you understand, if this guy is in that position where I've never had success, I've never been successful, I have no money, I'm from where?
Timbuktu.
Virginia.
No, I'm thinking, was it Thailand?
Indonesia.
Yeah. India, where the average monthly income is $200. I mean, you cannot waste your time with these people. That's what's, I'm telling you, 90% of what's going on here is just that. So I want you to focus on that today. Focus on it and go show them the clip on that, all right? And then I have to go to tape right now. Focus on that. That's just step one. The pitch, when you get someone on the phone who's qualified, this is fucking easy. We have the best product in the world. We know it works. No one else has it. It's not that hard. You can spread it out over time. All right? Stop speaking to unqualified people. That's what you got to do. All right? Let me go to work here. All right?
Good. Thank you.